It was supposed to be the kind of celebrity story nobody remembers by morning. A late night. Too many drinks. A luxury car drifting down the Pacific Coast Highway. Flashing red and blue lights in the mirror. Another Hollywood star pulled over for driving under the influence. In Los Angeles, that barely qualifies as gossip. It happens, it gets written up, and by sunrise the internet has already moved on to something shinier. But this night didn't fade away. Because within hours, what looked like a routine DUI started turning into something far messier, something that felt less like a traffic stop and more like the beginning of a scandal powerful people might have preferred stayed buried. And by the time the dust settled, it wasn't just a celebrity's reputation on the line. It was questions about influence, media power, and whether the truth itself had nearly been erased. Back in 2006, Mel Gibson wasn't just famous. He was practically Hollywood royalty. This wasn't some fading actor clinging to old glory days. He was still riding the legacy of massive hits like Lethal Weapon, the Oscar-winning epic Braveheart, and the controversial box office juggernaut The Passion of the Christ. Actor, director, producer, the kind of guy studios handed blank checks to. When Gibson spoke, executives listened. When he released a film, audiences showed up. In other words, untouchable. So when the first reports surfaced that he'd been arrested for DUI near Malibu, it barely raised eyebrows. Rich celebrity drinks too much, gets stopped, spends a night dealing with paperwork. Not exactly shocking. The initial statement from the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department was almost comically calm. Gibson had been arrested, they said, without incident. 2 words. Without incident. No drama. No chaos. Nothing to see here. If the story had ended there, it would have been forgotten by lunch the next day. But then something strange happened. Inside the newsroom at TMZ, the site had already posted the basic arrest story. Simple, quick, routine. And then the phone rang. On the other end was someone claiming to have insider knowledge. Not a random tipster chasing attention, someone who allegedly knew details from inside law enforcement. And what they said didn't match the official version at all. According to this source, the arrest had been anything but quiet. They claimed Gibson hadn't just been cooperative and calm. They alleged he'd gone on an angry, drunken tirade in the back of the patrol car. Shouting. Swearing. Making inflammatory remarks. Saying things so offensive that, if true, they would instantly blow up headlines across the world. At first, it sounded too wild to be real. Because think about it, when a story sounds this explosive, there are only 2 possibilities. Either it's huge, or it's totally made up. So the newsroom did what any outlet trying to protect its credibility would do. They called the sheriff's department back and asked directly, did anything happen beyond the routine arrest? The answer reportedly came back fast and firm. Absolutely not. Nothing happened. No incident. End of story. They allegedly even warned that running anything else would destroy the outlet's credibility. And normally, that's where a story dies. But this one refused to die. Because the source called back again. And this time, they claimed something even more suspicious. That an original arrest report existed with detailed notes about what really happened, and that parts of it had been removed before the official version was released. Removed. Edited. Cleaned up. That's when the story shifted from celebrity drama to something that felt almost political. Because it's one thing if a star embarrasses themselves. It's another thing entirely if authorities are accused of helping bury it. Then came the moment that felt straight out of a movie. The source said they could send proof. Not email. Not Dropbox. This was 2006. A fax. So picture the scene. Late night newsroom. Half the staff exhausted. Coffee cups everywhere. Everyone staring at this old machine like it's about to deliver a verdict. And then it starts making that screeching sound. Paper sliding through. 1-page prints. Then another. Then another. Then another. 4 pages total. Allegedly the missing narrative. According to reports at the time, those pages described behavior that sharply contradicted without incident. Heated language. Erratic conduct. Statements that, if published, would spark outrage everywhere. To be clear, these were claims documented in reporting, not courtroom verdicts. But the contrast between the official version and the alleged narrative was impossible to ignore. Suddenly the story wasn't just "what did Mel Gibson say?" It became, why did someone allegedly try so hard to hide it? Because here's the thing about cover-ups, they almost always make people more suspicious than the original mistake. If authorities had simply said, yes, it got messy, maybe it would have blown over faster. But the strong denials? The warnings? The alleged missing pages? That's what made it feel bigger. More dangerous. More important. Publishing something like this about one of the most powerful men in Hollywood wasn't just risky. It could mean lawsuits, career-ending backlash, legal threats from expensive lawyers. But after reviewing everything, the outlet reportedly made the call. They ran it. Late Friday night. And within minutes, the internet exploded. The story spread like wildfire. Cable news. Radio. International headlines. Overnight, Gibson's name wasn't attached to a movie premiere or awards season, it was attached to controversy. Debate. Outrage. Then came the call everyone expected. His representative. Most people assumed the reaction would be nuclear, total denial, threats, aggressive pushback. But what reportedly shocked people was that the response wasn't a sweeping rejection of the entire story. Instead, they focused on disputing one tiny detail. One specific phrase. Not the whole event. Just a small part of it. And sometimes, what isn't denied says more than what is. But the real twist? This wasn't just becoming a scandal about Gibson. It was becoming a scandal about power. Because questions started stacking up fast. Why were authorities so determined to say nothing happened? Why allegedly remove details from reports? Why warn journalists not to publish? Was it simply caution, or was there pressure? Some insiders speculated about connections. About how big celebrities often support local institutions. Donate. Build relationships. And sometimes, consciously or not, those relationships influence how situations are handled. Nothing officially proven. But enough smoke that people started wondering if there might be fire. Then things escalated even further. Reports later suggested internal investigations weren't just targeting the incident, they were targeting the people who might have leaked information. Deputies allegedly scrutinized. Records reportedly examined. Even journalists' phone logs said to be reviewed. Suddenly this wasn't tabloid gossip anymore. This was First Amendment territory. Press freedom. Source protection. Because if reporters can't protect sources, stories like this never come out. And that's when the narrative got bigger than one celebrity's meltdown. It became about whether truth itself could be quietly buried. Meanwhile, Gibson's public image took a hit that didn't fade quickly. The untouchable aura cracked. Studios got cautious. Interviews grew tense. For years, it felt like Hollywood kept him at arm's length. Not completely exiled, but definitely not embraced the way he once was. And that's the brutal reality of scandals. You can win Oscars. You can break box office records. But one night can rewrite how people remember you forever. Ironically, the night also transformed TMZ. Before this, many people saw them as just another gossip machine chasing celebrity photos. After this, they looked different. Sharper. More investigative. More connected. Suddenly celebrities realized something uncomfortable. Secrets weren't safe anymore. Not if someone inside was willing to talk. Not if documents could leak. Not if a simple fax machine could blow up a global star's reputation overnight. Looking back now, the craziest part is how close this whole thing came to never happening. One short statement. Without incident. If nobody had questioned it. If nobody made that second call. If those pages never printed. The world would have believed nothing happened. And that might be the most chilling part of all. Because it proves something Hollywood has always quietly known. Sometimes the scandal isn't the mistake. It's how hard someone tries to hide it. And time after time, history shows the same truth. The cover-up is almost always bigger than the crime.